Have you ever stared at your toothbrush and thought, how did we end up putting plastic sticks with bristles in our mouths every morning? It's one of those things we never question, until you realize that people once brushed their teeth with sticks, feathers, and even porcupine quills. And sometimes they simply didn't bother at all. Before we dive into this weirdly minty journey through time, please do me a quick favor. Give this video a like. It tells YouTube that this is the kind of history you actually want to see. The everyday stuff that is stranger than fiction. Our story begins around 3000 BC when ancient Egyptians decided their smiles deserved attention. Kind of. They did not have toothpaste, minty foam, or plastic handles, but they did have chew sticks. Imagine snapping a twig, fraying one end, and using it like a toothbrush. No paste, no chemicals, just wood fibers and maybe a little sand sprinkled in for extra scrubbing power. In China, people were also chewing twigs, but by 1600 BC, someone had the genius idea to add flavor. They used aromatic tree twigs so that if you were going to rub wood on your teeth, at least it tasted pleasant. Greeks used rough cloth and crushed shells. Romans went all out with powdered bones and oyster shells mixed with charcoal. Basically, early toothpaste was like brushing your teeth with a barbecue pit. Fast forward to China, 1498 AD. This is where the first toothbrush that looks familiar finally appeared. The handle was made from bone or bamboo, and the bristles came straight from the neck of a Siberian boar. Yes, that morning routine we now associate with freshness once started with pig hair. These boar bristle brushes were shipped to Europe, where nobles thought they were exotic. But they were also kind of disgusting. The stiff bristles were rough on the gums, they held moisture, and after a while they smelled terrible. Still, compared to chewing twigs, it was definitely progress. Europeans experimented with horsehair, badger hair, and even feathers. But nothing truly worked well, until one frustrated man in jail changed everything. Meet William Addis, an Englishman who landed in prison in 1770 for starting a riot. Sitting in his cell, bored and probably disgusted by his own breath, Addis had an idea. He drilled holes into an animal bone, inserted bristles he had saved from a guard's broom, and glued them into place. And just like that, the modern toothbrush was born in a prison cell. After his release, he began making and selling them, turning that small idea into a business empire. By the time he died, his company was producing toothbrushes for all of Britain. Fun fact, that company still exists today. It is now called Wisdom Toothbrushes. By the early 1900s, toothbrushes were found in homes everywhere, but most still used animal bristles. They were inconsistent, expensive, and definitely not hygienic. Then in 1938, the world received an upgrade. A company called DuPont invented nylon, and the first all-synthetic toothbrush hit the shelves. It was called the Dr. West's Miracle Tuft Toothbrush. Nylon bristles did not rot, did not smell, and were gentler on the gums. Brushing finally became a pleasant experience, or at least as pleasant as scrubbing your molars at 7 o'clock in the morning can be. Yet not everyone rushed to use them. It was not until after World War II, when soldiers returned home with the habit of brushing twice a day, that America officially became a nation of regular brushers. Before that, surveys showed that most people brushed only occasionally. So yes, there was a time when your great-great-grandfather might have said, "Toothbrush? No thank you, I will just rinse with whiskey." Then came the 1950s, and with them, electric toothbrushes. The first one was made in Switzerland, and it looked like something straight out of a science fiction movie. By the 1980s, Oral-B and Philips Sonicare made them mainstream, turning toothbrushing into a daily vibration concert inside your mouth. Today, we have brushes that sync with smartphones, play music, track brushing angles, and even scold you if you do not brush long enough. We went from pig bristles and prison bones to AI-powered oral hygiene. If that's not progress, I don't know what is. But here is what is truly fascinating. For something so ordinary, something we use half asleep every morning, the toothbrush tells a story of human persistence. Every culture, every generation, kept trying to find a better way to stay clean, to look better, to feel human. And somehow, through centuries of bones, boars, and bristles, we ended up with something you can buy for a few dollars at the supermarket. That is the beauty of simple things. They remind us how far we have come. If you made it this far, you now know more about toothbrushes than 99% of people. So the next time you brush your teeth, give a silent thank you to the boars, bones, and prisoners who made it possible. If you enjoyed this strange dive into the history of something so ordinary, give this video a like and let us see how many people we can surprise with simple stories that shaped the world. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss our next video. Because on Watercooler Facts, the everyday things you take for granted might just have the weirdest pasts of all.